Hello and welcome to Syrtis Major. We got a 1v1, two very good players, Cybran, DilliDalli, and the UEF CrazedChariot. Of course, this map, one of my favorites, that's why you might see it quite often. But thanks for people sending me this video, or this replay. Always looking for replays. It's also, besides sending replays to me, definitely send them to Guile. He's got some really good videos if you haven't seen them yet. Something really crazy here from CrazedChariot. First, Mech Marine, a bit unusual. And then engineers. DilliDalli going first. Engineer, nothing crazy. 4 P-gens, a couple of mass extractor, pretty aggressive ACU. Second land from ACU, then mass extractors. So of course on this map, 3 choke points you gotta go through. If you look at it this way, the middle choke point has a bunch of civilians, pretty good mass, but protected by Tech 1. Pretty big mountains here. You can sneak around, do drops, and of course it is usually a 2v2 map. So there are pretty significant bases here that you want to grab. And this far base here is a little harder to get than the close one if you're CrazedChariot, for example, because there are multiple heights on this map and you got to get over those to get to the other base. So a lot of natural barriers. Looks like an air factory planned after the hydro for DilliDalli, and a big power span. It's going to be a big wall of power generators. Looks like CrazedChariot's going second air, pretty big power. And Mech Marine just hanging out. We still have that first Mech Marine that he built, and here a little after second minute, you can see for Mech Marine it takes about a minute to get to this first choke point, so it'll take another 30 seconds or so to actually get somewhere where he can start killing. We do see a Mantis going to the other choke point for DilliDalli. He wants to protect his expansion. See what else is happening here. So early on, the slow speed not too much, but we definitely see a lot more Mech Marines for Chariot, and this could be interesting. These Mech Marines coming in from Chariot against the Mantis, and I always love to see Mech Marines versus Manti fights, because with proper micro, the Mech Marines can actually outrun the turret on the Mantis. But big advantage here for the Mantis that it does have the radar, so it'll get the first shots. It looks like CrazedChariot is not paying attention. So here, this is where the Mech Marine, yeah, if he's just running around like that, Mantis will have no problems. Another Mech Marine coming in. You gotta get her all the way around and have the turret chase the Mech Marine. So far this Mantis, 3 kills, all the kills in the game. See air interceptors for DilliDalli, and now bomber for CrazedChariot. So we'll see actually multiple bombers for CrazedChariot. Manta is going to try to deny these 2 mass extractors. A factory for CrazedChariot is trying to get on this high ground, the second level. And there goes the Mantis. So good Mantis, but 1 kill for this bomber. So far coming up in minute 5, not too much has happened, just both players building up. CrazedChariot, and actually what has happened? Yeah, it looks like that other Mech Marine got killed by the other Mantis. So far Cybran doing very good defense. You see scouts and bombers very aggressive. CrazedChariot, interceptor and interceptor battle. Looks like Chariot got the first shots in. And here's some Mech Marines from CrazedChariot. This engineer is going to try to run away. And this is good stuff from CrazedChariot, denying, killing the Mantis and the engineer, bombers and Mech Marines together. Great UEF stuff from CrazedChariot. That's overkill. So a lot more aggression from CrazedChariot early on. Seen the Manti, which were pretty defensive, did pretty good defense, but just not enough. But absolutely no raiding from DilliDalli. Multiple factories on the high ground from DilliDalli, and still having problems taking the expansion from all the great aggression. This Mech Marine already has 1 kill. Engineer running away, another engineer is going to try to sneak by. Of course, the Mech Marine with a scout here, so much more powerful. Nobody going to the middle yet here, coming up minute 6. Quite a few interceptors from DilliDalli. Not really sure where he's going. It's 5 of them. CrazedChariot has 4. He's about to get a couple more. CrazedChariot could win this battle. Would depend on micro. You can see how CrazedChariot came in and came from the back. Some nice piece of micro there. And elsewhere, this Mech Marine is shooting a hill, and it survives amazingly. He's just got to keep running. He can outrun the Mantis. It's good stuff from CrazedChariot, although DilliDalli seems to be very defensive and already has two Tech 2 mask extractors. It's quite a bit more tech, and we do see Tech 2 mask extractors from CrazedChariot, but only one. Here in the bottom, another Mantis, and now a group. Now this is real Tech 1 land force now from CrazedChariot. We see tanks, Tech 1 tanks moving in, and this could be big problems for DilliDalli. DilliDalli doesn't seem to really care. He's just all out eco. Here comes a drop, however, as well. Looks like CrazedChariot giving up the middle to DilliDalli. That could be dangerous. DilliDalli already a good economy, a lot of power. He will be able to use it, and looks like finally DilliDalli solving his problems. He's going to grab the expansion. And here come the tanks. That is going to be a problem. I'm going to deny that engineer, these mask extractors. That's significant force. That's 6 tanks. I don't see 6 Manti from DilliDalli. Perhaps some jesters or something. And that's another huge force here from CrazedChariot. Looks like Chariot now moving into the middle. He's got to get here quick, because once DilliDalli kills this quantum gate, he's going to be able to reclaim it. Looks like CrazedChariot is going to come in just in time. He's also got some tanks standing by, and looks like that was perfect timing. He's going to come in just when it gets killed. Perfect timing from CrazedChariot, although CrazedChariot here could be in better trouble, getting hit by Artie. This is bad for DilliDalli. DilliDalli did all this work killing Syrtis, just so that CrazedChariot can come in and take the mass. DilliDalli now retreating. I'm really curious to see what those transports will do for DilliDalli here. Coming up minute 9. It's a total domination in the middle. CrazedChariot moves in. No respect. Grabs the mass. CrazedChariot has reclaimed 5,500. DilliDalli 7,000. Looks like DilliDalli got a bunch of mass from all over the place. Just reclaiming little rocks. It's engineers like this one. And in terms of Tech 2, we see a whole bunch of air. Looks like CrazedChariot is going to make a lot of interceptors, but already a massive air force from DilliDalli as well. And here we see these tanks. I think if CrazedChariot was a little more aggressive with the early tanks before all those factories went up for DilliDalli, could have done a lot of problems. But CrazedChariot chose to go in the middle with those instead. Guess that was also a good choice. Now on the top, it looks like it will be numbers for DilliDalli. No defense for CrazedChariot. Just a bunch of NGs. And our CrazedChariot is going to throw his original Tech 1 force to the top choke point. We just saw that air fight. Looks like CrazedChariot won. It's a pretty massive air fight. And these transports still not being used. So many Tech 2 mask extractors though for DilliDalli. But map control are really dead even. Here come, we're gonna see some drops. That's gonna be a very important part in this game. This is a massive air force from DilliDalli. Actually, 2 Tech 2 mask extractors here, and a very quick Tech 1 point defense. That's going to be very crucial. You want to run away if you're DilliDalli. You don't want to fight the point defense. But this is a great target. Very strange place to invest so much mass. And here we see the transports under assault right away as they're loading up the Manti. CrazedChariot dominating the air game, also dominating on the ground. Manti are not being microed. Chariot just rolls in. So it'll be a pretty even battle here. And looks like nice reinforcements here on top for CrazedChariot. So overall, still very even. Don't see any Tech 2 units, still Tech 1 on the ACU. So mostly, no, Tech 2 air here from CrazedChariot and Tech 2 power. So that's a very significant move that CrazedChariot did in terms of economy. And given his air control, we're going to see Tech 2 gunships here shortly for sure. Or even maybe Tech 2 transports. But in terms of land, it's been all Tech 1. Pretty big spams and a nice counterattack, but maybe a little too much from DilliDalli. It looks like there are numbers. Well, now it's pretty even. I think there was a retreat from CrazedChariot, and he kind of left his units in a straight line. He's going to try to regroup, I think, but another secondary force coming in from DilliDalli. So DilliDalli making progress, and if DilliDalli can sneak in and kill a couple of mask extractors, it'll be significant. Up on top, really no chance. A single Mantis runs through. Might actually kill a couple engineers, but pretty much no man's land up on top. Looks like the ACU for DilliDalli going to the top choke point, while CrazedChariot is sort of lost here. And we can see 3 kills and that Mantis sneaks by. Here, minute 13, a very even game, and we're seeing now Tech 2 land from DilliDalli. See Tech 2 NG. See what kind of impact that has, and here come the Tech 2 gunships. And once we see the Tech 2 gunships with air control, it's going to be very dangerous for DilliDalli. Though he's got to get flak all over the place. We do see hoplites from him and some stealth, but he's going to have to put flak on all the different choke points. So for the next, say 4 or 5 minutes, it should be all gunships from CrazedChariot, if he chooses to use them, which I'm sure he will. But here come the interceptors from DilliDalli. DilliDalli is going to try to deny the gunships. It's going to be a very important air fight. That's a lot of gunships. Looks like CrazedChariot is going to try to choose to keep most of them hidden, although I think he already exposed at least one of them, so DilliDalli knows there are gunships on the field. Should mean he's going to spam air very much. Not too much flak from DilliDalli. It means he probably thinks he'll be able to win this air fight, which is happening now. And a whole bunch of gunships now moving in. And gunships are going to be used against his ground force. Ground force has absolutely no flak. So free kills for CrazedChariot, and he is going to win the air fight. So a little unfortunate for these Manti. Tech 2 versus Tech 1, air versus land. These are going to have full health. And we'll just load up on veterancy. Another choke point, just a standout, but Tech 2 land from DilliDalli. And Tech 2 versus Tech 1, once they get some flak in the wall, very surprising wall here from DilliDalli. He does have an advantage in this position, but he is walling himself off. These gunships, absolutely no counter. Total air domination, no sign of flak, just more Manti moving in. The killing fields from CrazedChariot. Some inties from CrazedChariot are not going to find DilliDalli's ACU. And here with this lack of flak and air, might as well go for the ACU and kill it. I would be surprised if CrazedChariot doesn't do that. We do see some TMD here from DilliDalli. DilliDalli just upgrading and completely ignoring the gunship threat. Here come hoplites with absolutely no flak in sight. There is some Tech 1 stationary now, so that's at least something. The gunships are now moving over to the other side. We're also seeing cruise missiles. That's very nice from, I'm not really sure where they are, but Tech 2 mask extractor is getting killed. So DilliDalli using cruise missiles to do a little bit of damage. Can't really see the launcher, but I'm sure it's there somewhere. And here it is, Tech 2 versus Tech 2. No flak. But here come the interceptors. It looks like CrazedChariot left his gunships without the air cover. And a nice stationary flak plus some Tech 2 mobile flak. And amazingly, DilliDalli winning the air fight locally. Well, it's very close, but here come the reinforcements from the other side of the map. But once this Tech 2 flak moves in, I'm very surprised a single Tech 2 flak in this force would have just created all kind of havoc for CrazedChariot, but DilliDalli chose to sort of delay it. See CrazedChariot with Tech 2 ACU, Tech 2 point defenses on this choke point. A lot of mass to reclaim. And DilliDalli now going behind his wall. And gunships now to the other choke point. No flak here whatsoever, but a pretty big massive air force here. From DilliDalli, he might choose to use it. CrazedChariot engages first. But the gunships once again just going to town here. Once again, Tech 2 now with some flak. They're going to move in. No Tech 2 yet here from CrazedChariot, so it could be a problem. So still total air domination from CrazedChariot. Gunships cleaning up nicely. So much reclaim. CrazedChariot sitting at 12,000 mass. 4,000 in the bank. So no eco problems whatsoever. 18,000 reclaimed for DilliDalli. But DilliDalli making progress on the ground. moving in with the Manti, keeping the hoplites and flak back. Got a kite with those, I think, yeah. Now DilliDalli is going to do a little bit of kiting. There's also stealth. But here come the gunships from CrazedChariot moving in directly into DilliDalli's base. DilliDalli losing Tech 2 mass extractors. No respect whatsoever. Tech 2 flak moving in to defend. That's a significant loss now from DilliDalli. Still haven't seen that cruise missile launcher. Looks like it did take out a couple of Tech 2 mass extractors. Tech 3 land. See Titans now from CrazedChariot. So it looks like CrazedChariot completely skipped Tech 2 here on the bottom, and now with Tech 3, no more problems in this position. But big problems for DilliDalli with this massive gunship force. They're going to go after power. But DilliDalli causing problems of his own, actually sneaking in. These were drops, yeah, so good stuff with transports. Even though DilliDalli had absolutely no air control, CrazedChariot neglecting to kill these transports, and now they've just moved in. Significant damage. So both players causing extreme amounts of damage here to each other's bases. Now the gunships are, I think, forgotten by CrazedChariot. They did leave a nice path of destruction, but now they're going to be destroyed because they're not being defended. So I think because of this map, they have multiple places they got to be at the same time. They're kind of forgetting what they're doing. So not perfect play. Still pretty good, man. Titans waiting for orders, it seems. A big reclamation field. You gotta grab that if you're either player. Looks like the gunships were killed. Really unfortunate. Now the Manti, that's another drop that came in, are going to be cleaned up by gunships. So CrazedChariot with his gunships really has been the best thing for him all game. Well, these drops from CrazedChariot, if it wasn't for these drops from DilliDalli, I think he was out of the game, because he just got absolutely ran over by those gunships from Crazed. And now we're going to see Tech 3 versus Tech 2 up on top in terms of land. And a very important air fight that looks like DilliDalli has just won. And DilliDalli winning air takes away the gunship threat from CrazedChariot, so he's going to have to change up his game. I mean, he's still in good shape. He's got Tech 2 point defenses up on one choke point. He's got Tech 3 land on the other. But losing air is always a dangerous thing. The later it gets, the more dangerous it becomes. Once you get Tech 3 air, might see some strat bombers or just Tech 2 gunships from either Cybran or UEF. Extremely powerful. Looking at Chariot's eco here, sitting on 3 Tech 2 power generators. He's also got a bunch of Tech 2 mass extractors with mass storage, so a decent eco here at his main base. Still, this is non-stop. Yeah, I guess now that DilliDalli has completely won air, this drop situation, it can go on indefinitely, so completely bypassing this choke point. Just going through the air, dropping into the base. You can see the response from CrazedChariot coming in with some Titans. Well, we can see at least 4 or actually 5 Tech 2 mass extractors destroyed. Now we see an air fight directly above Chariot's base, and it looks like Chariot is actually going to win this eventually. Tech 2 point defenses up in the choke point, multiple walls, and absolutely nothing going through the middle, which may be a little surprising. More drops rolling through. Not really sure where those are going to go. This would be a good place. He has some Tech 2 mass extractors here. You can see now defense, good defense from CrazedChariot. I think a bit of a waste of air there from DilliDalli flying directly over CrazedChariot base. You see all those dead planes on the ground. That's also worth some reclaim. Of course, Tech 2 flak moving in for CrazedChariot. And DilliDalli did have that air control, did use it, but I think he threw it away a little too easily. But we'll see. But it looks like DilliDalli definitely still in the game, maybe even had an advantage. You can see he definitely has total control of this choke point. This choke point, well, we got some serious things going on here. CrazedChariot deciding to move through the middle with his Titans. We see the response from DilliDalli here in minute 25. It's just Manti, but it's Tech 3 versus Tech 1. Total air control as well. It's a Titans versus Manti, but numbers for the Manti. You can see both choke point being abandoned. Well, actually, DilliDalli is still leaving some units here in the back. But Titans actually respecting the Manti, which may be a little surprising. I can't believe that these Titans were given the order to move back against the Tech 1 force. I mean, it is quite large, but might as well just go ahead and kill them. So fear, or however you want to put it, I can't believe I'm seeing Tech 3 force retreating against Tech 1, but we just saw it. Here, this is a brave Titan right here, standing up against a huge army. Probably a little too much. So CrazedChariot continues to retreat, fighting through the walls here, the civilian walls. And that retreat means it's a pretty big map control advantage for DilliDalli. DilliDalli now moving in. Some Tech 1 point defenses here you do not want to attack. If you're DilliDalli, as long as you avoid those, you're in good shape. And then here comes the Titans. This is the brave Titans. It's probably going to have a lot of success. It looks like the Titan's moving back down. Very surprising stuff. Tech 3 land now from DilliDalli. And now we do have bricks. Bricks on the field, and now bricks in the middle. So the Titans no longer really have an option to go through the middle. Here we see 10 kills. 10 kills for the other. Total domination on the bottom choke point. Titans now cleaning up on top from DilliDalli. And now DilliDalli choosing to move through the middle. Two Tech 2 power generators right on the path of this force. Very strange place to build those. CrazedChariot just sort of running back and forth and not really knowing what to... Well, now he's just defending, I guess, against this massive Mantis force. But this drop right here, absolutely no respect from DilliDalli. Drops in, is going to create all kinds of problems. And we see the Manta just being thrown in at the Titans. So I think what we're seeing, which is very surprising, Titans being owned by Manta in large numbers. You can see it causing damage to the production, the Tech 3 land production. Some Perseus here as well. But these walls really creating all kinds of problems, thinning out the force from DilliDalli. Cruise missiles now in the air. We saw some TMD here being taken out. TMD was taken out by DilliDalli, and now these mask extractors exposed to cruise missile attacks, and that's exactly what we saw. 3 Tech 2 mask extractors killed by cruise missiles. Also some Tech 2 mask extractors looks like under fire. Titans in this bottom choke point, no problems, but we do see bricks moving in that direction. And here we see 2 kills on this brick, another brick with 2 kills. Bricks with a whole bunch of Manta moving through the middle. Top choke point for the most part abandoned. But this is a large Tech 3 force now from Crazed. You gotta get some Perseus in here, however, to counter the bricks. More bricks moving in. Also bricks on this bottom choke point. CrazedChariot looks like he's got the gun. That's gonna be a nice anti-brick weapon. More cruise missiles from DilliDalli. That's one big difference so far in this game. Cruise missiles have been excellent from DilliDalli. No cruise missiles whatsoever from Crazed. And that's really a testament to the TMD from Cybran. It's extremely good. UEF TMD notoriously unreliable. Looks like that Percy's shooting some ground. Strange place on those power generators though from CrazedChariot. CrazedChariot overcharging bricks. That's always a fun thing to do. And this is a brick drop from DilliDalli. So DilliDalli with those drops and total air domination. This is such a massive air force. And a brick drop is a significant drop. Something you have to respect. And that's an unfortunate overcharge into the ground. Chariot overcharged the brick, but it was behind a little hill. And this time it worked out. But these bricks are going to create all kinds of problems for CrazedChariot. Big Tech 3 land spam, Tech 2 air spam. DilliDalli retreating with ACU. A lot of TMD. Very secure base for DilliDalli all over the place. All these bricks just coming in. Some Titans are going to try to respond. But against bricks you got to use Perseus or the ACU or some gunships or something. And a massive air battle that it appears will be won by DilliDalli. And here comes an assault. Titan assault plus some Perseus in support. 5 bricks and Manti. I think this should be won by Crazed eventually. See that the bricks are going to be targeted selectively. And a drop right in the middle of the fight. Although, good defense from an Artie. But in terms of map control, you can see a lot more blue than red. That brick drop was very nice from DilliDalli, taking out all these mask extractors. 7 Tech 2 mask extractors destroyed. It looks like a victory for Crazed in the middle. A lot of good reclaim here as well. A massive Tech 1 force moving through, plus some bricks. They will run into this Tech 1 point defense already at 13 kills. It's going to get a lot more. Don't see too much Artie. And here, Tech 1 Air Force flying over CrazedChariot's base. Could be dangerous with all this Tech 2 flak around. Imagine this Tech 2 flak is going to get a lot of kills. Looks like gunship's moving in. Yeah, this flak is going to get a lot of kills. I think DilliDalli is in danger of losing his air, but it looks like he doesn't care. He's just coming in from the kill. For the kill from the top choke point, he's going to deny Tech 3 land production, and if Chariot loses his Tech 3 land production, this game is basically over. See a lot of Tech 1 bombers here as well. And I can't believe CrazedChariot just got dominated here at the end. It might be just Cybran versus UEF, but at one point I thought Chariot had Tech 3 versus Tech 1 could have moved in, but the bricks came in and just cleaned up. Of course, excellent drops all game from DilliDalli. Also good cruise missiles, good pressure. Chariot's still looking to do some overcharges on that brick. Looks like a successful defense on this factory, but all the engineers are dead, so build capacity is 0 on the Tech 3 land spam. Not 0, but quite low. And DilliDalli really sensing blood, moving in with Tech 1 bombers. They really don't get more than one pass. Tech 1 bombers versus flak, not a very good odd. But looks like Chariot defending successfully. So this game is still not over. But drops all over the place from DilliDalli. Yeah, it looks like this whole bottom base completely lost once this Tech 2 point defense is gone. These Tech 3 mask extractors are also going to be gone. I mean, the Tech 3 lands from CrazedChariot still alive in the middle. But bricks non-stop, plus Tech 1 bombers non-stop assault. Really good stuff from DilliDalli. Once he sensed that CrazedChariot was on the back foot, he just moved in from all directions. CrazedChariot unable to deal with it. Looks like bricks are going to be forced to retreat. There are some Perseus. Yeah, these are great warriors here from CrazedChariot, but they can't be everywhere at once. CrazedChariot realizing he's just in too much trouble, throws in the towel. Excellent win from DilliDalli. I definitely enjoyed this one. Hopefully people enjoyed this one as well.